I'd like to ask Mark from gigCMO to talk a little bit about how important that is before you, when and how you start to sell a product and a service in the US.
Thank you, Mark, and great to be here, and nice to meet everyone again. Some of you are new to this, and some of you have been partners with GTM, but localization and marketing is absolutely essential. So there are 5 key points that I'd like to stress with you, and hopefully we'll get through these very quickly. The first one is separated by a common language is an understatement. Even those nice people north of the border, Canadians, which I am one as well as British, are considered foreigners in the US. You must appear to be local. Even Canadian firms try and look like American firms. The second point is Americans do not think they have too much to learn from the rest of the world. And to a certain point, they are right, because most of the successful business models in the world come from the US. So your foreignness most likely doesn't give you a competitive advantage. And third point is the competitive intensity in the US is unlike anything you've ever experienced. The US has historically been a graveyard for most British firms. Do not underestimate the challenge. The fourth point is it might be your language, but Americans have made it their own. You must spell and write like an American. So as I mentioned, I'm Canadian. In Canada, you can get away with using British spellings and American spellings. As I've learned in England, there's only one way to spell things, and that's an English way. And in America, there's definitely only one way to spell things and talk, and that's the American way. The fifth point is your digital presence and storytelling must look and feel like an American digital presence. People can look who are experienced and worked across borders. You can identify websites, even in the same language, and you can say, that must be a British firm. That must be a Canadian. That must be an American. And that's when they share a common language. So when you go to America, just because you can understand most of what's going on, don't assume that the rest you can also assume you know, because you can't. It's the biggest market that most people want to participate in the world. And it is very competitive. And there are local firms who are striving to succeed. So if you're coming in, don't forget, it's just like your home market. There's all those people already fighting. You're just adding to the competitive intensity. So the key message is don't underestimate the challenge in front of you. So at gigCMO, we give you a proven playbook, marketing leadership, and knowledge transfer. We always leverage your existing capabilities and supplement what you have if need be. It is really important to get the context right and your storytelling and localization. Mark.
Thanks, Mark. And if you were to just highlight one of the first steps for anyone thinking of the US, what would that be?
I think it comes back to something Tom said. Tom Torelli, make sure you're ready for the US market. We have a free tool called a market readiness expansion audit on our website. Go run through it. It will give you a good indication. Are you ready to go to the US? And identify what are the gaps if you're not. It's free, it's easy to use, and it gives you a chance to say, are you ready for this market? And what are the gaps you need to address to succeed?